Hi everyone, it's craftytinas. Today's video is going to be about the Pinwheel punch board. This is another We Are Memory Keepers punch board. It's for a pinwheel. Now normally a pinwheel is one of these little cute things on a stick and you can blow on it or let the wind go or, roll it through the air. If you're old like me, I'm sure you've seen these for a long time. You had them when you were kids. I didn't buy the board for the pinwheel, although it is pretty cool. And if I was having a birthday party, I would make several of these, put them in some jars for decoration because they are really cute and they are functional. If the wind's blowing outside, they are going to spin. Now, in order to use this as a pinwheel, until I give you guys a hack, because I am working on a hack, is you have to have the refill pack for the stick and the plastic piece. This is the piece that makes the pinwheel spin. And it's just a piece of plastic. You're clamping the top part in up here. The back part slides on, gives it a little space, and then you have a little tube, and this little guy just slips in there. The downside to this pack is these are paper. This is a very thick straw, and it's paper. I wish they would have made it plastic, because then these could have been reusable, but this isn't going to last no time in the weather. It's not going to last any time in the hands of a child, even in the hands of an adult. If you get liquid on your hands, you're drinking water or soda, and you get it on here, it's going to be gone. So I guess they did that on purpose so that you would be buying these, but I don't trust We Are Memory Keepers to keep us supplied. That's why anytime I'm doing a board that has something that has to be purchased in order to make the product, I'm very hesitant if I can't come up with a solution myself. And I will be looking for a solution for these to make the pinwheels, and I want to use either wooden dowels or plastic pieces because I don't like the paper. I just don't think they're going to last any time. They do make a nice little bouquet. This is really cute. So there are some good decorations for this punch board, but that is not why I bought this punch board. I don't have any plans to need pinwheels. They're cute. I admit they're cute and they're fun. This is fun to make, but I don't want pinwheels. What I do want, and what I always want, is flowers. My purpose of getting the pinwheel is for flowers, and I wanted some big, bulky flowers to go for my shadow boxes. So I wanted the actual flower to be nice and bulky. Now I know I can layer flowers, I can make them more three-dimensional, but this was an easy way to get a thick, bulky flower to go with my shadow boxes. And another thing I wanted to make was Christmas bows. So if this was a gift box, I'd have a nice three-dimensional Christmas bow. And that's why I bought the pinwheel. There's going to be more ideas with this board because I don't want to limit it. I don't like to limit any of my boards to just one function. I want it to get its money's worth. Now, this Christmas, I'm going to be putting these on my gifts as bows because I think they're cute. I think with some that curly ribbon coming out of them, they would be even cuter. I want to make Christmas bows. I have a bunch of Christmas paper, and this is paper, not cardstock. So I thought I'd give a shot for making bows. I did pick this up at officesupply.com. It was super reasonable. It was cheaper than it is on Amazon. Now, I didn't think this board had been out very long because I don't remember seeing this board. Maybe I did and didn't think I needed it, so I just kind of didn't pay attention to it. But according to the back of the refills, this board used to be the dark gray. Now, my dark gray boards are like 15 years old. So I'm wondering how old this board really is, and I need to look that up on Google. But if you have this board, put down in the comments how long you've had it, because I'm very curious to see how long this board has been out there. I knew I didn't want to make pinwheels, but when I looked at this pinwheel, the first thing I thought of was a flower or a gift bow. I didn't think pinwheel. So this is the pinwheel board. It has our typical little cutter that goes around the track. It has a punch in the corner. It's a nice slim board, so you didn't take up any space. You see I've been punching away. It does not have a bone folder for score lines because there are no score lines. This is basically punch and cut. Now there are two different tracks. They do not connect because you have two different sides. Now let me explain why there are two different sides. I could read these directions all day long and it would not have told me what to do. And I can't remember if I read the directions on this one or not because I'm really bad for not reading the directions. I want to figure it out on my own. I want to see how easy or hard it is. But the reason you have two different colors and two different sizes, let me lift this up for you. You have two colors, you have the gold and you have the teal, is because if you're making a double, and this one's not a good example, if you're making a double, which means two different pieces of paper, you're going to do everything twice, then you need to use this for one and you need this for two. These make the cuts at a different angle so that you can put them together and have a fuller pinwheel. If you just want to use one side, you're going to have a 4-point pinwheel instead of an 8-point pinwheel. They are both really cool. This reminds me more of a pinwheel, the little single thingies. This is more like just the little spinners. I think the pinwheels used to be just the four-sided. But you get a very different look, which is good because that means my board can be used for two different functions. These look entirely different, but they are made using the same concept and using the same board. Now you could make the one that's just single as a pinwheel as well, as long as you put the spacer between it so that it can get air, it will spin just as well. I am not using the spacers for my bows and my flowers. I'm using these brads. And someone did come and tell me on one of my videos, these are brads, not braids. They are just a little head on two pieces of metal. And when you open up the two pieces of metal, you flatten them to hold your paper item in place. These were originally made for office supplies. These were made to bind papers. You would just punch a hole and you could bind the paper. I like them in crafts. Now, I got such a big bag of these things. This isn't even all of them. I couldn't even fit all of them in the jar. I knew I was not going to make this many bows and this many flowers. And even if I made flowers, I didn't always want the center to be gold. For my bows, yes, they look great as gold. In one of my videos, I do show you how to heat emboss these little gold guys and turn them into any color you want based on the embossing powder you have. We simply made these little guys by putting liquid embossing ink on it. Then we put embossing powder and then we used a heat gun to color it. So that color is there permanently. It's not painted, it's there. So if you want to know how to color these little guys, because on your pinwheels and your flowers and your bows, you could make them any color you want based on what color embossing powder you have. So let's go back to the board itself. Like I said, it is simple, it is easy, and it does multiple sizes. You have from a 3-inch all the way to a 12-inch. I have not made anything larger than this one, and it is an 8-inch. If I was doing like a photo backdrop, that's what I would need, a 12-inch. Other than that, I can't see needing the large one. This video is going to show you the 4 and the 5-inch. The reason we're focusing on that size is because this video is basically going to show you how to make flowers and gift bows. I tried the 3-inch, and the 3-inch was so tiny that I couldn't wrap the petals around. So I will work on the 3-inch off camera to figure out the best solution, and then I will give another video on making small pinwheels. These are going to be the 4 and the 5-inch pinwheels. All of the sizes are going to be done the exact same way, but we're going to focus on these two sizes, and that's these two sizes right here. We're going to focus on these two because I want to show you how to make these two sizes for gift bows. This is going to be a gift bow video and a first look at the pinwheel. Now, as you can see, this was not double-sided paper like this. The double-sided paper is prettier. I have absolutely no Christmas paper that is double-sided. And how sad is that? I went to Hobby Lobby yesterday. There was no Christmas paper to be found. Paper, not Christmas paper as in gift wrapping paper, but Christmas scrapbook paper. I found one stack, little book, of cardstock Christmas paper. And I didn't have that one, so I did pick it up because it was on sale. They had no other Christmas paper. I didn't want to go to Michael's. I don't like my Michael's. It's not well stocked, it's overpriced, and it's in a really congested area of town. So I don't have double-sided paper. If you have double-sided paper, you're going to be great. But it doesn't look bad being white on one side. Now for this one, I made the white on the inside, and for this one, I made the white on the outside, and I'm going to show you how to do both ways. This is not double-sided paper. I took two pieces of paper and stuck them together and made this pinwheel. The reason I did that was I wanted to show you you have options, because like me, I have a lot of Christmas paper, and not to have any double-sided Christmas paper is a little different. But you can make it simply by putting the two pieces together. It makes a stiffer, but it's still fine. I did try to make this using cardstock, and unless you have a thin, soft cardstock, your curves are not going to be good. They're going to just bend and crease. It's a very tight curve, and it's like that on purpose, so you can spin it, obviously. But because we're not making, you could probably use a thin cardstock here, but not here, because we are pushing these together. We are actually mashing the center of our pinwheel, so it's not going to be this thick. So let's get started and have some fun, because this board is kind of fun. All you're going to need is paper cut square to the size you want it to be. 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 4-inch. Then you need to decide, are you going to do the 1 sheet or the 2 sheet? And for this video, we're going to do some 2 sheet ones so that you can get an idea. Keep in mind, once you decide 1 sheet or 2 sheet, 1 sheet, you're only going to use one side. You're not going to use this side. 2 sheets, you're going to use this as sheet number 1, and this is sheet number 2. And that's very important so that they can fold together. 2 of these won't work because the curve is not enough. 2 of these won't work because the curve is not enough. You need 1 piece and 2 piece. The reason I'm going over this multiple times is I have made multiple ones where I've messed that up. Only because I wasn't paying attention to what I'm doing. I craft for relaxation and fun. I don't mind messing up. I laugh at myself. I throw the little bitty 4-inch piece of paper away and I start again. If you have a scrap bin, go look for some 4-inch pieces of paper. If you've never used this and you're just starting out, do what I did. Take some recycled paper, go get something out of your recycle bin, go get some junk mail. Perfect thing to use is junk mail. We get a lot of it, and I like to just take it and use it to experiment. Now let's make a pinwheel. We're going to make the 4-inch, and we're going to make the 2 paper, the 2 different pieces of paper. Now, if you want the inside to be white, I got to remember which way I did it. The outside is going to be white if you do it face up. The inside is going to be white if you do it face down. So we're going to do the first one face up so you can see me cutting it and scoring it, because this white kind of blends in. So this is the look we're going to get going face up. If you're doing double-sided, it does not matter. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to use the punch. This is kind of an odd little punch. It punches very well because you do nestle it in the corner, but it's giving you a rounded edge and a circle cutout. I kind of like it, but I'm probably going to figure out some things to do with that little punch. I like that it's different. It's not a round, it's not a little slit. It's kind of a different punch. You're going to punch all 4. Now, even though this is a one-directional paper, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be one-directional when it's in here. And you don't have to worry about patterns or themes. Go with colors, because you're not going to see any you're not going to see any little images in there. I mean, you could see the makings of a house or a little bit of a tree. You're not going to see a whole image. So it does not matter about one directional, two directional, multiple directionals. If you're trying for perfection, you're going to want something that doesn't matter what side you look at. Some people don't like that they can see half pictures in there. I'm going for color, overall color. So now, very important to remember, this is our 4-inch. Do not bring this down on anything until you're ready, because unlike the other boards that have this little tray that falls down, this one has a point, a little poker thing here. This is to put the center hole. So you don't want to have your paper just laying on the board and you go and close this, because you will put a hole in your paper, and that's not what you want at this time. First thing, this does stay up, or put it all the way back. Don't let it close on your hand. First thing you're going to see is there's numbers on the edge. This is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 12. I do not know why up here they stopped marking it. They put the indent in it. I don't know why they did that. Maybe that's a warning that those aren't going to be the greatest. I don't know. I haven't done the 12-inch yet. I will do a series on large pinwheels as soon as I find a use for them, because I don't want to show you guys how to use something and not have a use for it. So we're going to go with the 4-inch. And we did face up, so we have to keep it face up. This circle cut here is going to match what's on your board. Not the 3-inch, but the 4-inch. And I'm going to put that there. Keep in mind, this is the 4-inch. If I move this up here to the 6-inch, 8-inch, I'm sorry, it still matches. So you can easily do the wrong one. Obviously, you're not going to put the hole in the center, but if you're not paying attention, you're not thinking, and you just, oh, this is the one I did, that hole's not going to be in the center. So it's important to make sure in your head, keep telling yourself it's the 4-inch. I have literally had a pad of paper beside me, and I would write 4-inch, so that no matter what I did, every time I glanced at that piece of paper, it says 4-inch. So now that I've lined it up, lining it up is important on the first one, but it's going to be slightly off on the rest. When you're lining this up, if it's off, line up the valley. Line up that little valley into the center. Not on the first one. The first one, you're going to line everything up perfectly. And I wish they wouldn't have used gold. I wish they would have used like a darker color or red. Now when I put this down, it has a hole in the center. So I'm going to just slide this to the next one. Now my next one, and you can't see it, doesn't line up perfectly. It's a little above the line, and that's okay. And even I did read the instructions on this one, because I remember reading it is okay for it to be slightly off. If that's the case, put this valley at the cut line. That's the most important part after the first one. And then we're going to cut. We're putting the circle in the track and the little blade into the crevice on the outside. You're going to turn it again, putting the little valley in the cut line if this doesn't match up. And we're going to do this again. You can leave your blade on here because we're not picking this up until we're done. And we're going to turn, cut, and one more time. Now I have 4 cuts. I'm ready to open this up. And when you open it up, you're going to see there's a hole punched in the center. I wish it was a little better hole. It's literally just punching it, and it's really crappy looking, but it ends up not being a problem. I did this face up. I'm going to leave this face up to the side. I'm going to take my second color. I'm going to open up my board. I'm going to punch my 4. Both pages get punched the exact same way. Now I'm going to line this up, and it's way down here. Just going to line it up with the 4-inch. It's very important not to use any of the others. And I'm going to close my board, and now I have a hole in the center. And I'm going to cut. And I'm going to turn and do every one of them. And if they don't line up, that cut line is going to be in the valley of this little divot here that the thing punched. So it's not as important to line it up, it's more important to get it in that valley. This is not going to need to be precise, but by putting it in the valley, I don't have any stragglers on the sides. See how this started to get a straggler on the side, a little piece of paper? By putting it in the valley, that's the best place to put it. Now you have the first and the second. So you're going to place the first on top. And we are making this, like this one, to where they're going to fold in with the white. So you're going to turn this paper, and now I have all 8 little circles showing just by turning it. This center needs to be held. Now these things hold from the top. I can't hold them from the top. I have to hold them after I assemble it. So I took a paper clip and made me this little stand, and yes, I will be hitting my hubby up for a little stand with a base, because I'd like to be able to put this down and hold it while I do all my fun stuff. So you need something to hold it while you're putting it together, and then in the end you're going to put your little brad through the top. So this is going to work for now. It's just a paper clip. It's a little one with this one piece standing straight up. Starting with the top paper, you're going to simply fold counterclockwise all of your little pages, all of your little circles are going to go in. Top page, back page, top page, back page. And now I have all of my little circles folded in. Don't worry about arranging it yet. You'll get to that. I'm going to put them all, press them all together, making sure my circle is straight. So you need something a little thicker than a paper clip, but the paper clip works for now. Uh-oh. If the paper clip slips out, you're going to need to put your pages back. So now I have to be able to put my little gold thing through all of those circles. And then I split the back. It's 2 little pieces of metal, and they bend very easy. They need to be bent totally straight out. And now I have my bow, which I can arrange. Because if you push it this way, well, this one did pretty good. Usually there's a little play in it. This one I think had play in it. Nope, maybe this one. This one had a little play in it and it wanted to close on me, so I had to like pull it out a little. So now I have a Christmas bow that I can put on a package. If you don't like the white look and you only have white backed paper, why not take a colored stamp, like a red poinsettia, and stamp all over the back of that paper before you make this? That would change the look of the white and give it a color. Or you can simply double it if you would like to. So this gives you the white center. Let me show you how to get the colored center so that the white is on the inside. Because after you punch this, you could, before you assemble, stamp an image in each one of these petals, and you would also get a different look that way. But let me show you. We're going to use the 6 inch this time. I'm going to show you how to get the color to be on this side. Let's use some candy canes and stripes. Or let's go totally different, and let's put some green and red together. You can also do liked images if you don't want the double look. You can easily do it. If you're stamping one side, you may want to do that so that this isn't too cluttered. This is all uniform, and then you have the stamped images. You could also stamp little words there if you wanted to. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, anything you want. Because again, crafting is all about having fun and being creative. Now this time we're making the 5 inch. Remember, this is the 4-inch, this is the 5-inch. And this time we're going to make the colors on the inside, and the white is kind of tucked away on the inside. So I guess the color is on the back and the white is on the inside. You can put your bow backwards, add something to the cute to the center of this one, and you could have a bow that way as well. Just flip your brad around, or if you don't decide until after that you want to put it this way, you can put it this way and then put some curly ribbon in the center, and you've got a different look again to your bows. Crafting is about being creative. So now we have these 2 pages, we're going to stamp them. Before we stamp them, because the white centers was face up, the colored centers need to be face down. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to punch. And this always falls off, so I'm going to lay it to the side. You're going to punch all 4, making sure you get the paper squared in that punch. You have all 4 holes now. It's a little hard for you guys to see. Now I'm going to use my 5-inch measurement, not my 4-inch, my 5-inch, because if I don't use the 5-inch, the hole will not be in the center. Now I'm going to take my cutter and cut. And now every time I turn, instead of lining it up with the lines, because sometimes it doesn't, I'm going to line it up with that little valley. That little valley is going to start in my cut area. And that will keep you guys from going crazy trying to figure out why it doesn't exactly line up. So now this was paper 1, and we're going to keep it wrong side up. And now I'm going to do paper number 2. We're going to punch all 4. And we're going to use the teal side, not the gold side, at the 5-inch mark. We're going to line it up with all the lines properly. We're going to close it. And now we're going to make our cut lines. Now I know I'm doing Christmas bows here, but if you have birthday paper, why not make some birthday bows for your gifts and your gift bags? If you have a baby shower to go to, you can use some pretty pastel color paper. If you have 2-sided plain paper, you can stamp one side and not stamp the other and get a really nice illusion. This is page 2, so we're going to lay it down and we're going to put page 1 on top of page 2. We're going to use our little makeshift holder. And we are going to interlock the little pages. Doing much. There we go. Once you find where one goes, then the rest are easier. And now we have them all interlocked, so we can see all 8 of our little holes here. Now we're going to fold them in going counterclockwise, which means to the left. For those young people that don't know what a clock looks like, you're going to go to the left. And we're simply going to put one at a time. On our little paper clip. It's so much better when I hold it down here than bringing it up in the air and try to put these on. There we go. Now I need to put my little gold thing in it, and this is such a tiny little paper clip that I want to make sure that I have enough space there. Just kind of moving it in a circle. I don't want to punch any more holes. It already has the holes. Just need to make sure that I can get this into the hole. So I am definitely going to make me a little stand with the little, maybe a little bitty dowel rod, or get my husband a 3D print something to hold this while I put these down, because I find that I get less aggravated when my crafting is easy for me, because again, my crafting is all about stress relief and relaxing and having fun. And look what happened. This little guy just got right out of there. So I'm going to, holding everything, pull this back out because he was supposed to go on top. Now the problem is getting it all back through that hole with this being stretched out. So I kind of have to pinch him together. There we go. And now I have a bow with the color on the inside or the color in the back. See guys, this would be a nice bow as well. And the insides are white, which meant I could have stamped them. And you're going to want to stamp them prior to making the bow. So let me explain. If we have all of these punched, and this is again the 5-inch, and we took and I did it upside down, so I have to continue. However you start is how you need to continue. That's important with this board. You can start right side up or upside down, but you have to continue with that. So now that you have your piece of paper, now would be the time to stamp it. This is going to be in the center. This is going to be your outer edges. So this is where you would stamp, or you can just stamp randomly and it would make double-sided paper. It'd be really cute to take all red and just stamp. Maybe stamp candy canes or some little candies or even snowflakes. But it would give you a look different than having so much white. Personally, I like this look better than this look. I like the colored in the center more than the colored here. Basically, it's up to you. Again, if you want this to be colored, you would stamp around the whole area. I would recommend stamping randomly all over the piece just to give that look. And if you later decided to turn this upside down, you would have your stamps there. Now, as you can see, this one is totally white because all our color is on the top. So if you're going to put one upside down, it's best to have one that has the white tucked in so that the back is all colored. And you could also layer these if you wanted. If you made a bigger one, you could put a smaller one on the inside for a very grand gestured bow, because look at this. You guys can't really see the kind of depth this bow is, but this is beautiful. So if you had a really nice big present under the tree and you wanted to make a grand gesture, you could make 2 of these and simply glue this one onto this one. Don't flatten it. Leave it to the, the fullest extent. You don't want to smash these 2 together. You want to leave that really big illusion, but this would make a great bow. Look at that. You could also take a smaller flower, like a poinsettia, be beautiful in the Christmas paper, and put the poinsettia in the middle. Now, if you're using something like this with the white on the outside and you did a poinsettia on top, look at that. It really covers up the white, but it adds a lot of color. It adds more depth to it. And guys, this is just paper and you have fun making it. So don't worry about, well, I bet that bow costs more than a dollar pack of bows. Well, yeah, it might. But if you're getting these out of your scrap bin and you're having fun, then you're the winner and you have spent less money. So guys, what do you think of the Pinwheel punch board? Let me know down in the comments if you have this book, if you used it, or if, like many people that I'm finding out, you're buying these boards and you're tucking them away because you don't know how to use them or what to use them for. I'm really interested in, do you have this board and have you used it? And do you continue to use it, or was it a one-time thing? Also, in the comments, if you want to tell me what We Are Memory Keepers punch board you would like to see demoed, let me know. I do have quite a bit of them, and most of them I bought this year. OfficeSupply.com had free shipping, a coupon, and their boards were cheaper than Amazon. I bought 4 at one shot. I haven't even begun to play with all these boards, but I am absolutely loving the adventure. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something, and I hope if you have this board and you've never used it, this inspires you to get it out of that package and get creating. Thanks guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and join me on Facebook. And as always, happy crafting.